This isn't a photo.
Oh, you said video.
Okay. Let's do both.
My name is Sarah, professional interior designer and creator of the blog She Holds Dearly. On this channel, I like to talk about making a home beautiful on any budget. Well, I just got back recently from a wonderful trip with my daughter, Madeline, who is all grown up, and we don't get to spend very much time together. So this is a very special trip in Utah. And I want to share with you some of our favorite places that we went and some things that we found antiquing and thrifting. And then I just want to honor moms because we are releasing this video around Mother's Day. So let's dive in. So I'm here with my daughter. We are in Utah hanging out and hitting every thrift store, antique store we can find, and we have to recommend the place called the Garage Sale Company. So this gal, she specifically buys the contents from probate, right? So she goes to estates. So a lot of older people come to Utah to retire, and then they pass away and they have all their antiques, and their kids don't want to come take care of all of it. So she purposely buys all the contents in the house, sorts through it, takes the good stuff, puts it in her shop. Now she knows her prices, and there's very expensive things in there, but she barters, and there were things that were just really good thrift store prices too. So you just have to dig around. But I will always be visiting that when I come to Utah. So passing that on. Now, I can see some people being very overwhelmed in this place, so just warning you, this is packed to the brim. I bet we spent 2 hours at the Garage Sale Company, and it is ceiling to floor full of items. I just wonder, I bet some of that stuff has been in there for 15 years. It was one of those places, and a lot of it's very expensive. I mean, we saw old children's toys that were $300. And so if you go to this place, I would put your bartering cap on and just be ready for that. But it definitely has the best antiques in southern Utah. Then we went to dinner at the Cracker Barrel. And whenever you're traveling, I think you should ask the locals where the best antiquing and thrifting is. And so our waitress at the Cracker Barrel said, you got to go to the Urban Renewal. So we found it. It's in St. George. And I could tell even at the front door it was going to be good. There was a lot of antiques and some newer things too, but really well coordinated. And the thing that struck me the most about this store was the displays. So you know how people will go to Anthropologie just to study the amazing displays, or the silos, Joanna Gaines has great displays. This store was like that. So we have pitchforks in a bouquet. There were full-size living rooms. There were tables that were set. There was beds that were fully made and styled, and the kids section was so darling. They had this old vintage metal slide that spanned 2 different displays, and so to walk into the children's area, you had to walk under this old slide, and it was so well done. And I kept thinking to myself, okay, if I ever have a brick and mortar, this is my standard. I want a store that looks this good. And it's just a total destination place that people want to go and experience. And I just so enjoyed spending time with my now grown daughter. It's just a whole new world when you're both adults, both living your lives, doing new things, being brave in life, and yet now you're friends too. And I remember when I was pregnant with my first child, reading a quote that said, once you have a child, your heart is going to forever walk about outside of your body, meaning that there's this new level of vulnerability that you've never experienced before. And the older moms here can attest to that never ever goes away. You are always going to care about how they're doing it. It will take up mental space, always. And you will want to know, are they healthy? Is their body working well? How are their finances? Do they love their job? Are they in good relationships? Are they walking with the Lord? How is my baby doing? And you will care until your dying breath. It's a very bittersweet role to be a mother. And it helps you understand what your mother went through too as she was raising you. And we had such a good trip. We went hiking, we went to the farmer's market, we laid by the pool, and we stopped at this great little coffee shop I wanted to share with you called Feel Love Coffee. USA Today actually said that this is one of the top 10 best coffee shops in America. So there you go. They have fresh French pastries that they make every morning, and they use recipes from Normandy, France, and their decor was just eye candy. I mean, anytime you want to serve me a French pastry on a vintage plate, I'm going to love you. We spent some time here just soaking up the decor, the chandeliers, the old furniture, and it was so fun to have a child who loves the same things. She threw her first bridal shower, and I got to kind of stand off to the side and cheer for her and answer questions, but she did it herself, and I was so proud of her. One of the joys of having adult children is you get to be inspired by the things that they're learning and they're growing in. And so every time I spend time with my kids, I have new ideas and things to try. We've all been on this rampage to use more healthy beauty products, and we've been doing the gua sha stones to decrease puffiness and increase lymphatic drainage. So we're already kind of tiptoeing into this world. But one of the things that I've been wanting to find is something that I can use as a natural alternative to Botox. And the thing with Botox that's so unique is that it actually affects the muscles of the face, and it's hard to find beauty products that can mimic that. But I recently found a product called the Zip Halo device. The Zip Halo uses microcurrents and nanocurrents. So microcurrents are low-level electrical impulses that speak to your muscles, and our body has bioelectricity in it, so it tries to mimic the same electrical impulses in our bodies. And then nanocurrents, which are a lower level intensity, I can't even feel it, the nanocurrents when I'm using the device. So the nanocurrents are accelerating cell turnover and increasing elastin and collagen, which I am all for as I'm aging. Okay, to use the Zip Halo, you charge your device, you download the app on your phone, and then you put this conductive gel all over your face. It's a really good app. I'm really impressed with it. You get to choose different treatments. There's anything from 2 minutes to 12 minutes that you can decide to focus on, but I say jump right into a treatment plan. And there's the 7-day facial you can try. There's one for wedding day. I like the 30-day one. I would say jump right into that if you're gonna do this. And then Melanie Simon, who is the inventor of the Zip Halo, will come on the screen and she will guide you through the entire treatment. If you start to feel like you can feel the electricity and it's freaking you out a little bit, which I did the first few times, you just need to add more gel to your face and that feeling will calm down. There's a couple things you don't want to do. You don't want to run the electrical currents right under your eyes. You don't want to run it along here because your thyroid is right here and you don't want to damage it. So you absolutely want to use the app with this device. So studies have shown that the Zip Halo will reduce wrinkles by 28% in 6 weeks. It will reduce acne by 42% in 8 weeks. And 87% of all users say that they absolutely see a change in their face shape and that there's a lift that's happening. And I am definitely one of those 87%. So if you are wanting to kind of lift your eyebrows and smooth out your forehead, if you want to carve out the cheekbones or even out that jawline that wants to sag right there as we age, if you're dealing with hyperpigmentation or acne, this is a really unique product to add to your beauty routine. They call it the Holy Grail. And Melanie Simon has worked on a lot of Hollywood movie stars, and she's just a world-renowned esthetician. So I think she's really onto an amazing product here. If you want to give it a try, use my code DEARLY. That'll get you 10% off of the Zip Halo and the Conductive Gel. And I'll go ahead and put the link in the description below. All right, I am home from Utah and I want to share with you what I found on those shopping trips. Some of them you already saw, but let's go ahead and look at the 3 things that I found at the garage sale company. That place that we went that was not garage sale prices at all, but I dug and dug and dug and I did find 3 good things. So the first one I found was a cloche, and I have a lot of cloches. In fact, I saw this and I thought, gosh, that's a great price. I paid $14 for this and I need to clean it. But I left it the first time I saw it because I thought, I already have enough of these. I have a whole collection and I'm kind of done. But I'm having so much fun with my greenhouse and the whole idea of the flower gardening that this is not actually going to be part of my collection. I'm going to use this out in the garden. Maybe I'm going to regret that, but that was the original intent when these first came out. It's a very French idea, and you just put it over the plant that you're trying to protect from the cold, and it works like a mini greenhouse. So you'll be seeing this out in my French potager that I'm working on currently. Next up, I found this little guy. It's pretty scrawny, and it's even scrawnier because Nala found it and wanted to chew on it. Hex's Feathers. Whenever I share these on YouTube, I get some comments. And I have a real one. Actually, it was gifted to me. But I always get people saying that these don't work and they just are gross and they spread dust around. And here's what I heard. When I was growing up, my mom told me that a real ostrich feather, that's very key. An ostrich feather duster works very well because they have natural oils in the feathers that collect the dust. So you do your dusting and then you tap it on your heel like that, and it goes down to the floor. It releases the dust. It goes onto the floor, and then you finish your cleaning by vacuuming and sweeping, and then you get the dust out. Okay, so that's what I've always thought was the norm. But if you know differently, then I'll probably hear from you in the comments. Anyway, I found another one. The first one is a really nice one, and I do use it. And I actually like to decorate with it because anytime you can use your daily household items as decor, I just think you are hitting a home run. That's kind of my goal for everything around here. I want to use it, but I also want it to be decor. So this one was what? $4.99. I thought that was a really good price for the garage sale company. So I got this, and at this point now I have 2. I've started a true collection, and I thought they would look really cute in my laundry room makeover that I've got brewing in my head for we'll probably get to it next year. But having some peg rail with, just a bunch of old-fashioned looking cleaning supplies would be cute. Okay, this one's my favorite. I saved my the best for last. Ooh, how much was this? I don't have the tag on it. I think it was $50. This is a boater hat. I talked her down to $30. I had to negotiate, and she was a wheeler and dealer. But so am I. So Madeline was just watching the whole negotiation happening, and she was like, in her mind, she was thinking, that lady is really good, but she doesn't know who she's dealing with my mom. So I got her down to $30, but here's what she said. These are classic early 1900s fashion, and they were originally copied after the Venetian hats, but they actually had, the bow with the tails coming off the back. So it's a very Italian idea, but they became super popular in the United States and Australia too. But they're made of straw, very tough straw, very well made. There's the inside. I've never seen an old one that was legit. I mean, they make styrofoam ones that, real cheap ones, and they would have them at political rallies, and she had 2 of those there too. But she said, well, this one's extra special because it is straw. And then she said, okay, right here, do you see how this straw is missing? Because I wanted it for $25. I think I said 25. And she goes, well, she pulls it down, she's looking at it, and she says, here's the deal. That right there, the straw that's missing, she said that the men would bite their hats. I don't know if it was a nervous thing, but she said this is legit, has bite marks on it that was part of the history. I just Googled it and I can't find anything on that. So if you know what she's talking about, let me know and justify me spending the extra $5. But I got it for $30 and I really love it. I think it will be so cute in the Anne of Green Gables room. And I'm just gonna pop up some pictures of Anne with her boater hat because it is very authentic looking. So it's made with straw. Usually it would have maybe a black band around it or a gross grain ribbon. This one would be a gross grain ribbon. Anyway, I do love it. I think it's going to be very cherished in this house, and I told her what I was going to do with it, and she said she was happy that it was going to a good home. All right, so then my next favorite spot that we went to, which didn't have all antiques, but had just incredible, I mean, you saw just incredible design taste and selection there. And that was the Urban Renewal place. If you're ever in St. George, Utah, you've got to go there. So I just got these little washcloths. There's just a little set of 4. They were $10. Not a big deal. But I just thought with my new kitchen sink that having something old and sort of vintage, authentic looking would be good, because I can't really hide my dishcloth now. The way my sink and faucet are, the dishcloth is kind of always on display. So I have to kind of think through it. I don't just want something that looks too bright on there. So I got these for my new sink and my new kitchen faucet. And then, actually, I don't remember where I got these from, but I did want to get I need a new set of measuring spoons, and these were $10 too. So I didn't spend a ton on my shopping on this trip, and so that was fun. But I still got to bring home some special things. And when I'm traveling, it's always a trick trying to get things back. I had to wrap this so well and put this on my carry-on, and of course took up half the space on my carry-on, but I did carefully get this home. And then the last thing that I brought back, this was not thrifted, it's not an antique, but we used this ticking fabric, and I found it at Walmart. This is a really great price on ticking fabric. I think it was $5 a yard. When we were getting organized for the bridal shower that my daughter hosted when I was over there, we grabbed some ticking fabric at Walmart for an impromptu tablecloth, and she ended up giving the fabric to me because she didn't really have a purpose for it afterwards. But I thought these would make some good pillows, or I don't know, maybe we could make some towels, some kitchen towels. What would you do with this ticking fabric? Such a good classic thing to have on hand, and the neutral colors will be great. I have found that parenting inside of the home is a lot different from parenting outside of the home. And I felt like I was probably better at being a mom inside the home. It was very intuitive for me. I understood that it involved food and cuddles and answering questions and modeling and building traditions and inside jokes. And that was something I very much enjoyed. And now that they are gone, I am sort of at a loss sometimes about what my role is. But one of the things I am learning is that it's about pursuing friendship with them, and hopefully that is reciprocated. But a lot of it is on their turf now and their timeline and their interest. And so there's a new level of flexibility that's required. And there's a lot of being sort of a spectator at what God is doing in their life and who He has made them to be, and enjoying that. And then when there's things that worry me as a mom, I pray. I am really enjoying this book called The Power of Praying for Your Adult Children. It's by Stormy Omartian. She says, it's not easy to be the parent of an adult child. That's because it's difficult to know what and what not to do for them. When do you need to step in? When have you done too much? When are your expectations too high or too low? Sometimes you think you're doing the right thing and it isn't, or maybe it was right for one child but not for another. And I have found that only God can give you the wisdom you need about these things. And so we pray. And I miss that about my mom. Maybe most of all, not having a mom now is not having that assurance that someone is committed out there to praying for me daily. So it's such a gift to have a mom. It's a gift to be a mom. And to everyone out there who has even mothered anyone who has loved beyond themselves and invested in someone else, I want to say a very blessed and happy Mother's Day to you, that God sees your work and He will reward you. So happy Mother's Day.
World. Somewhat. About 3,000 feet up.
Thank you so much for watching. If you would like more resources, I help women connect and learn more about God in my behind the scenes group and bespoke design retreats. I also help women expand their talents with my Elite Decorating Academy and seasonal decor boxes. I will leave the links to these resources in the description box below.